What's up, dude? You're gonna need one of these. Cause it's time for Dudes After Dark. Let's go! What's up, everybody? It is Friday. It's your favorite Dad Pod, Dudes After Dark. That's right. It's official. The Dad Pod, D.A.D. I'm your host, Tony Lane. We have a double header tonight. Up first, we have head coach Ken French of the men's basketball team at Oakland City University, home of the mighty Oaks. And then we have author, writer of one of my personal favorites, quickly becoming one of my personal favorites, a book I'm currently into, Weird Moments in Cleveland Sports, with author Vince Guerrieri. And just real excited about tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And, of course, thank you to Garage Beer. Thank you to everybody for being with us here tonight. Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Don't let it be a day, dudes. Let it be a weekend. This is Father's Weekend. You know, we got birth weeks, birth months. It's Father's Weekend. So let's start it out with tonight. I'm excited to have everybody here along with me. And, of course, I'm excited to have with me, as always, a man coming in at 7'3" mentally. Tall mental mind. But physically standing in at about 5.36. Yeah, feet, 0.36 inches. A man that needs to get out of California, and it might be happening sooner rather than later. A man who's been with me from the start. A man that goes by his last name, kinda. Brandon Johnsy. What up, dude?
What's up, buddy? I'm
Not
6
much,
feet.
man.
But you're right, dude. I am 7'3" minimum. Cheers,
Yeah.
fam. What is up on a
Cheers.
Friday?
6 foot with your mama's stilettos on. Oh.
No, I just needed it. Kim brought me a pen. I forgot my pen, folks. I apologize.
Yes, and that's a
I
writing
have to
pen.
have this.
It's
I
a
have
writing
to have
pen. In
this.
2023, that is a writing pen.
Oh, yeah. You use this on paper?
Yeah, it's this new concept we're trying where we put ink to paper.
Yeah, I know. Totally revolutionary. You heard it here first on the Dude Network.
You heard it here first. Hey, we're always breaking trends. We're trendsetters here on the Dude Network. And our friend, our Southern Fried Samurai out of South Kakalaki, the 843 warrior role model, ethical champion, leader of the zip code, a man who invented the term Gamecocks. South Carolina University named their mascot after this guy. Don't let anybody else tell you.
That may or may not be actually true.
It's probably true. You heard it here first, as always, on the Dude Network. Our friend, our brother, our dude.
Compadre. Hey, comrade.
Damon Kite. What's up, dude?
What's up, guys?
Damon, how the hell are you, brother?
Good, man. How y'all? Same thing. Cheers, guys.
Living our best life. Ooh, Kakalaki koozie. I like that. I can't find mine, so I'm putting my drink on the education is important, but hunting is importanter.
Okay, there you go. That works.
Yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
So, but our first guest here tonight, guys, it's going to be, these are quick moving shows here. Not as much small talk as we normally get to do, but we'll have plenty of time for that at the end of it. Our first guest here tonight, he's a legend. Absolute freaking legend. Started a showcase. It was so big. Let's call it the show. Going to the show.
Well, this is just the show.
A man that made the MLB resigned the term the show. A coach that has turned many infant little baby boys into grown, mature, strong jawline, mature adults. I don't know. I don't know what those are because I haven't put myself around one, but I heard he puts them out at his programs.
That's right.
A man that is the head coach of a university that is so special in Little Indiana. Why special? because they are only one of 1% out of 100% that's in the central time zone. So we always get our time zones mixed up, including 5 minutes before the show on my end. Coach Ken French, what up?
Yeah.
What's up, Coach?
Come on, fellas.
What's up, man?
How the heck are you?
Doing great. You got it all covered here. You got East Coast, you got West Coast, and you're right in the Midwest.
That's right.
And you know what? And we're putting Oakland City in all those markets with this show. Look at us, man.
Yeah.
All them shows that you did where 5 people watched, boy, now we're up to 100, man. We're getting somewhere, bud.
Yeah, so here, have you filled your team yet this year? Anybody within earshot? I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, hey, how many spots you got open? Hey, you know, parents, you got some kids. We got a guy here. How many spots we got to fill, Coach?
We're still looking for a couple of developmental guys.
There you go.
That's Fonzie. You got what's one? You got okay. You need one more developmental guy,
and then we may bring in one more on our varsity team.
Ooh.
Hey, development like to where you're going to develop or developmentally disabled? Because I think I probably fall on the latter.
Either one will fit.
All right,
I was
cool.
gonna say,
I made it, Tony.
Yeah. Them church league paid
Don't
off.
you get me started on church league.
Hey. Yeah,
I let that go with Sam Clancy. I'm going to have to ask him.
Oh, here we go.
All right, here we go.
Coach,
I brought it up.
I go up for a layup. I have the ball. I just go up for a layup, and this guy hits me so hard that both of my contacts come out of my eyes. I got the foul.
You got the foul?
Yeah. How?
The same referees must have been doing our shootout this weekend.
But hey,
that's the most favorable answer he's got yet.
Best coach we've had on yet, Tony.
Yeah. Rector hit him with the chicken wing. He accused him of throwing the chicken wing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, whatever. That was the last game of any kind of league or any legit basketball game I played in my life.
So what he's saying, Coach, is he's got fresh legs.
You can't even wear contacts anymore. You got glasses on now.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't wear these. Oh, well, yeah, I probably would.
No, we put Kurt Rambis straps on the back of
him.
I get those goggles stuck to my face.
Oh, dude, Johnsy wearing goggles. I see it. I need it.
I did for years, bro. Swimmer.
Yeah, I want like the big black goggles, like with the big white sweatband. I want tube socks and nut hugger shorts and a wife beater like jersey, man. That's
my wife is gonna be so mad at you when she hears this because I literally like my shorts just keep getting shorter. And like the only thing I'm missing is the 70s two-tone or two-colored striped socks. That's all I'm missing now of the wardrobe. Period.
I got you. I'm gonna Amazon it right now.
As I say, I'm writing that one down too.
Oh boy,
we both have your address, so that's
what you're getting for Christmas.
Oh, great!
Happy Father's Day.
Socks. Yeah, it's not like anything different.
Hey, Coach, you know, we're real excited to have you on here tonight. You know, you look for a certain breed in a player. You know, we're talking about recruiting. You know, we're going to have a lot of fun here, but we definitely want to, you know, properly showcase how great you got a thing going out there at Oakland City during this. You know, I know you've set the standard and, you know, in previous jobs of like what you're looking for in a player. So what is that exactly? Like I mean, would you rather have a super duper athlete that's a little harder to handle, or are you fine with a guy that does a little bit more all around, lesser numbers, but is more of a locker room guy? Like some coach likes one or the other or both.
Yeah, we're big on what kind of teammate you are. We want guys that want to be great teammates. We want guys that have a little bit of grit. You know, longtime Fork Union Military Academy coach Fletcher, he used to always talk about he wanted guys that were used, you know, that could get spit on their face, which means you could coach them. You could yell at them a little bit. We want guys with grit. We're blue collar. We want guys that are you know, cheer more for their teammates than what they do for themselves. We're big on what kind of teammate you are. I feel really, really good about the group that we've put together. That we're going to have this upcoming year, and we have guys that fit that, I think. And you know, it's taken us 3 years to build it and get to that point. But you know, we want guys that just They don't care. They're just worried about winning. They don't care about stats. They don't care about what they look like, and Popovich talks about it all the time. He wants guys that, are over themselves, that they don't have the ego anymore. And, a lot of college coaches, especially at our level, you can do that. You can still do that. You don't have to, you don't have to take that kid that's the best player on that travel team or the best player, and you can build. It's tough to do now, even at our level, because there's a lot of movement at our level too, one and done guys and transfers and that kind of stuff. But I'm still big on building a program, not just a team.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, hell yeah. You get it, but that's the thing though. If you do it right, Coach, and correct me if I'm wrong, you get a couple guys every year. You just get like a moving. You're just revolving every year. You're not rebuilding. You're just reloading, right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And you just have to have kids that buy in. And here's the biggest thing. Here is the biggest thing for all coaches at any level right now in college basketball is finding those guys that aren't afraid to lead their teammates.
Yeah.
Because they're almost afraid to call their teammate out and hold them accountable. But the best teams have those guys. The best teams have those dudes that can, lead a team, and they're not afraid to hold their teammates accountable. And they have the same type of work ethic that they can do that allows them to do that.
And in a way, it's almost like you have a peer coach among them that, that's invaluable, or coach is.
Yes, absolutely. And it's hard to find. We feel very fortunate. We feel very fortunate about where we're at in our program right now, because I feel like we've got guys like that now. And they got a little bit of grit to them, and they don't care. They're only calling their teammate out and holding them accountable. They care about them, and they care about winning. And they care about doing things the right way.
Yeah,
and it's not about them; it's about us.
Yeah. Speaking of guys that just set the tone to the locker room and natural born leaders, I think if I had to guess, you got a guy that probably plays a little bit like this, or just a leader.
Yes.
You walk into a stadium, 8,000 people, they all want you to lose. But as long as you got your 26 guys ready to kick ass or kick butt, you're going to be all right. Sorry, I sweared. I shouldn't have
No,
sweared.
you're good, man. Let's go back to that last inning, 9th inning. What are the emotions like entering that inning?
Well, the emotions are go in, win. I heard a fan offer free Dippin' Dots if I blew it, which the price of Dippin' Dots with inflation is just unreal. So for a brief moment, I was like, damn, Dippin' Dots sound good. But also I thought in the back of my head, we win today, we win tomorrow, or tonight. We're going to be here another day. That's more per diem. So that means I can buy my own Dippin' Dots and be a winner. So it's like, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to attack. I think 3 words every time I'm out there. The first one's a swear word, starts with F. Second word's attack. Third one's win. And I just repeat that to myself. Unless, there's a breach in the system and I walk a guy and I got to tell myself I'm a few different things that isn't a winner. I might break that, but then I get right back on it. Just this is happening,
Dude, that was the most honest, chat from a player ever.
You got to have a guy like that, a couple of screws loose, and it always helps.
You need the guy to take the charge.
That's right.
You need the mop-up crew. You need that mop-up crew guy.
Man, that's viral when he did that. But, that's a guy, he cares about nothing except winning. He doesn't care what he looks like. He doesn't care, what other people think of him. He just wants to get the job done for his teammates.
Speaking of a couple screws loose, Damon, what you got for him? Oh,
woo!
Everybody.
That was hot, bro. That was hot.
Dang. Just throw me out there. Hey, Coach, I see a lot of it everywhere, and I actually see you got it on your shirt. Play for more. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, Play for More. We talk. It's the foundation of our program, and it's memories, others, relationships, and excellence. And we break that down within our program in detail and what it means. And that's what we want. If you're here for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, whatever it may be, we want to create memories that last a lifetime. We want you to learn how to play for others and how important that is. And And, we have, all three we've talked about, before we started the show about our families and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And as you grow and you mature as a young man, you understand it's not about you. It is about others. And how you interact with them in those relationships, the relationships, that's what it's all about. And all of us, as you get older, you figure that out, that everything that you've done is based on relationships, whether you've had a good time. And you look back and the best times that you've had in your life, you were probably serving somebody else and doing something for somebody else, and that made you feel the best. It's not when somebody does something for you, it's when you do something for somebody else. And then the last part is the excellence, and trying to achieve excellence academically, socially, athletically, and spiritually. We want to develop young men. Those 4 areas are what we wanted to focus on when guys come in our program. And if they're even making just minimal progress in all those, we feel like we're being successful.
That's awesome. Good philosophy there.
So,
Hell yeah.
Kind of piggybacking off that and what you were mentioning earlier, about how you were mentioning how it's hard to find those leaders that stand out. So people talk about a lot how the game of basketball has changed, but how has the players changed? How is that? Is it harder to coach nowadays than, say 10 years ago or whenever? Attitudes are different. Like people's work ethic is totally different than, say when you were growing up, when I was growing up.
It's changed, and it's easy to say parents have changed. It's easy to say AAU travel ball culture is the reason. I think it's just changed. I don't know that it's harder. I think it's just different.
Sure.
The way I coached, 20 some years ago, compared to how I coach now is different, because there's more of a, everybody today is mental health is a huge topic in college athletics, and it should be. I'm not saying it shouldn't, but there's things that coaches did 10, 15, 20 years ago. There's no way in the world. And I think that's where it's changed the most. I think you have to play for more relationship. Everything in our program is built on relationships. I have to have if I only see you and talk to you as a player when we're on the court, then when I coach you, you're going to take that as negative. It's good. Coach is always on me. Coach don't like me. No, not the case.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know you yet. We got to build a relationship. And I think when you do that, players today, they respond to that. And that's when they'll run through a wall for you.
There you go.
Well, and here's the other thing too. It's it's tougher, but every coach is on the same playing field. It's not like you're recruiting anybody that's different than what other guys are getting to recruit. So, times have changed. It's just how vital is it, you think, to just be able to adapt with being relatable to people compared to what it was about 10, 20 years ago. You used to be able to go in to someone, look at someone's mama and be like, your kid's a punk. I'm going to toughen him up a little bit. You can't do that now, probably. So, how important? Okay, so I'm trying to word this in a question that's not generic. How good is a coach that's been a coach for 30, 40 years? Because in the college system, really be able to adapt that many years to the evolution of how parenting and kids are and the technology and the things they have access to, how impressive is it to make it 40 years in the business these days?
I feel very fortunate because I think I have evolved. I think I have changed. And, truth be told, I don't care how long it's been that I've been coaching. I had the same philosophy, especially for the last 23 years, because my son's 23 years old. I've always been, I'm going to treat them just like I want somebody to treat my son. And that's how I do it. And I think I've gained a lot of respect for that, and not just within the basketball community, but, last year, I won the character coach award in our conference for all the coaches. But I think that's important, and I think it does come down to relationships. I'm honest with my guys. I talk to them. I'll treat them like adults until they prove to me I can't. Then I treat them just like I would my son. And I'll lecture them and discipline them. It's the same thing. Like
take your belt off and beat them with it.
When you discipline your kids, sometimes more than it does them, it bothers you, hurts you.
Yeah.
Same thing with the players. It's the same thing if you really care about it. You can't get by with, talking and cussing kids out and that kind of thing. They don't respond to that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Nope.
Not all. Yeah, there's probably a few, but you just act like it does that. If you get one, cool, throwback. But
right, yeah, bonus.
Retro remix. But no, that's really I've always found that fascinating, and I feel like there's a lot of coaches that we both know that were fantastic in the 90s, 80s, 70s, but when you had to start lightening up a little bit in certain situations, they just were never able to dial it back. And then once you stop winning, then it becomes a problem. Bill Belichick, probably biggest prick of all of them, but guess what? He's got 8 rings for it. But now look at it. 4 years removed, he's probably on the hot seat because he's still running and he don't have the clout anymore. The rings 5 years removed. So yeah, it can get out of control quick, can't it, Coach?
Yes, absolutely. And it's all about, again, how do you want to change? How do you want to interact? Some can't. Some coaches can't. That's just who they are. It's their DNA.
Right.
How they were brought up. Most coaches coach the way they do. I was fortunate enough. All the coaches that I played for, it was relationships mattered. I still have a great relationship with every coach I ever played for. So, one of my best friends is my high school coach. We have a great relationship. I consider him family. It's how everybody approaches it and what you feel is important. If you feel that just winning is important, then you just get talent and you coach them for a year. And if they leave, they leave. You don't care.
Right.
Well, it's worked well for John Calipari. Whoops.
Oopsies.
Heard it here first.
But yeah. So speaking of coaching, we get a little fired up sometimes.
Yeah.
There's always those big momentum movers in the show and on the court. And so we, one of them things is it a blocker charge?
My favorite segment.
Johnsy will laugh very loud during this, Coach. So if your volume's turned up and anyone's sleeping, you might want to turn it down about half. All right, Coach, you're going to help us determine if these are blocks or charges.
All right, so this first one here has got a little two-parter too. So we're going to hit the first one, I'll pause it, and then let the second one go.
Okay.
Oh,
boy.
Let's see that one again.
Ooh.
What you got, Coach?
Oh, that's a charge.
Yeah, that's a charge.
It's on the ball, so the restricted line doesn't matter. So
He took that shoulder down.
Yeah. All right, this is the second part right here.
Okay, what's
this?
That's the block.
Yeah, his feet were still moving. He was outside the circle. I mean,
he doesn't take it.
No, Coach. He got there quick, but you got to give him the space. Who committed first? Do you think? You said you said block, so you think the shooter committed first. All right, David. Yeah, he ran under him. I'm with him. That's a bang bang. That's a tough one. That's probably one of the closer ones we've had.
Yeah, that one's going to be good tough.
That was legit block and charge.
Yeah, twofer. So, right. But here's going to be the tricky one.
Oh boy.
No boy.
Just like that, she got a great break, a crossover, but she'd like to have this final strike.
Yeah, that's a block all day.
That's a block, son. Absolutely.
Strike.
She was she sick?
This is not real. This was set up, right?
Here's the thing.
Why was she that mad?
It's got to be fake, but in this still frame, that looks pretty real, man. There is definite contact there. That is full out. Like,
Oof.
if that's a paid gig, they better got paid because that girl ate.
She eat it.
Yeah.
She had a big pile of elephant dung on that one, man.
I mean, if she tucked down a little bit more, it'd almost been considered a spear. So
she was close.
It could have been a targeting penalty there,
Could have. Yeah.
Oh, I see the one clip Damon's got down here, man. I know what that. I know what that is.
All right, so we're gonna go with this one here. It might be a little easier. Oh, hold on, my bad.
Oh.
I mean, that might be a little bit easier to figure out.
All right, do that again. Oh, Jesus.
That's an illegal screen.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a moving screen, man. You got to get out the way. You're either committed to it or you're not. You back out. Anytime you like back out, like you're done. Like guaranteed, you're done.
I hope I have another back nine, not the front nine.
Was that an accident? Like, or was that guy mad because they were
that's
too long?
Straight up. That's straight up legit. You get drunk on the golf course playing around.
Oh, and he hit his buddy.
Did you guys see the trend there on the golf courses where people were just like driving in their backswing, like underneath their knees with the carts and like taking them out?
Yeah,
like that was like a trend. Like it was like a funny thing among friends to run over them with the golf carts and blindside them like when they weren't looking in their backswing and stuff. It was some brutal ones, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, if anybody ever does that to me golfing, you're getting a 9-iron to the dome.
9-iron. I was thinking one with an at the 9.
I will wait and order an old school Callaway Big Bertha just to Big Bertha your ball sack.
Ooh.
I would find a weird voodoo woman and they would make it slow and painful. Like, Coach, if you ever did that, I guarantee you get that
weird, bro.
Yeah,
you went personal there.
Yeah. Like if someone like Coach did that to me, he would be getting nothing but bad head cases forever.
Like my head always hurts right here.
Yeah. It's like you have this kid like perfect score ACT, SAT gets. He's like, "What's 1 + 1?" Like, God, Tony. But so Coach, third year at Oakland City. Explain to us.
It's the rock test. The one where you go, which hand's the rock in?
I don't know. There's some tricky magicians out there these days.
That's what I'm saying. I guess you're close fist, but then you pull it out of my ear, and I look like an idiot.
Speaking of, Damon, did you see that one of the Warriors I sent you today? Did we get that where like the ball just magically appeared in like the past? Did you ever see that one, Coach?
Oh yeah,
a few seconds, a few minutes.
Draymond Green and Klay Thompson. You talking about where the ball he ends up and he shoots it through.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, the way he threw it, you can just see where it does look like there's some kind of somebody edited this video, something.
Yeah,
that's the slickest pass of all time. Then, like, I mean, because people are like freeze framing it, like breaking it down.
I think I remember that one.
I mean, it looks like the ball just teleported into another guy's hands and he shot.
That's what it exactly looked like.
Like, I mean,
yeah, it was just like.
I watched it 5 times. Yeah, I mean, it was wild.
I think I remember that one actually.
Yeah. So, Coach, this is your third year, right, at Oakland City? Third?
Entering my third year, yes.
Entering your third. You got your feet wet. Now you're all the way in. You're swimming laps at Oakland City University. Describe to us the campus. Describe to us the town, the community. Because, these small schools, I've always think they're cool because they're always as fun as the community. If you got a really cool, close, tight-knit community that's supportive, these places, like, players are like gods to the community, especially when things are going good. So what's it like out there?
We're doing a lot of good things, building relationships in the community. We're starting to develop a really good relationship with the high school that's right down the street. And it's kind of unique because there's a preschool, there's an elementary school, there's a junior high and high school and then college, and we're all on the same street, and it's kind of unique. You could go from preschool all the way through college if you wanted to, right there. But we, Oakland City University, we're about 25 minutes north of Evansville. Oakland City is a really small community, but big basketball. It's Indiana. They say it's basketball in 49 other states. In Indiana, it's different. It's really not the university. Right now, we have a lot of athletes that are on campus, and they've taken athletics and really used that as a tool to increase enrollment. We're building a new dorm. We're building a new baseball stadium, brand new tennis complex, replacing the other one. We have a really good tennis team, and then once that gets done, then they're going to tear out the old tennis courts and bring softball on campus. Right now, they play off campus. But there's a lot of positives. Dr. Dempsey, our president, and G. Ray Fletcher, our athletic director, they've been phenomenal since I've been here. It's unreal how much they support athletics and how they've used that to increase enrollment. And, we're growing, and the new dorm's supposed to be finished here in mid-July. There's a lot of positives, and it's yes, it is college. Yes, it is university, but there's a lot of similarities to a high school from a standpoint. If you do something good, everybody's going to know about it. If you do something stupid and bad, everybody's going to know about it.
Makes you walk the straight and edge, that's for sure.
And it's really good because all the other sports and students support each other on campus, and we've got a really good environment and a lot of positive things going on. And a lot of good coaches. A lot of good coaches on our campus that, really pour back into their kids, all of
them. That's sounds like a dream, man. Now is it okay with the community being like that? For when you're recruiting, like the urban recruits, like how tough has the transition been for those players going from the big city to the little city?
I think it's all about how we take care of them. And one of the things that we're ranked nationally is diversity. We've got a lot of diversity on our campus, and a lot of international students. If you look right outside, the gym, we've got, I don't know how many international students we have, but we've got a flagpole for every nation that we've got kids, and there's about 30 flagpoles out there. So,
wow,
it's really unique. And it is kind of a melting pot. There's a lot of you're going to meet people from different nationalities, different backgrounds, and different places. It's not just Southern Indiana. Students that make up our enrollment, they're from all over the world.
That's awesome. I had no idea.
That's way cool.
Yeah, for sure. Johnsy, what you got here, man?
One of the things about coaching is having to work with, maybe someone who's struggling or someone who thinks they're better than they are. Or how do you pull the best out of the kids without contributing to ego or even like some false egos? I just see it's a little different than when I grew up playing sports. I see, and I see a lot of parents dump a lot of money in special coaching and this and that and that, all the, I mean, there's kids who parents think they're going to be pitchers, so they're throwing 6 days a week, and it's like they're 10. Like, so how do you combine all of that and build that team with some of that kind of stuff going on?
I think that's one of the difficult challenges because most of the people we bring in, they were the best player on their team.
Yeah.
And now, you come in, especially if you had a great junior, senior year in high school, and now you're coming in and now you're a freshman, you're starting all over, and you got to earn it. And it's tough to be in that situation again. Some guys can't handle it, some do. To one of the points that you bring up, and it's been a topic here recently for a lot of people that are talking about athletics and not just basketball, sports in general. Too many kids are specializing in a sport at too young of an age. Kids should be playing as many sports as they can up until 14, 15 years old. And, kids play too much of one sport right now. We get kids, now, and, play wise and minute wise, game wise, they're like 30-year-olds compared to, you look at the longevity of how many games they've played as a youth, and they're older from wear and tear. And that's why you see so many ACLs and injuries and that kind of thing. They've played, and if you look, some of the best athletes, some of the most successful, and the guys that move on to professional ranks in any sport, those guys played multiple sports growing up. They didn't just focus on one sport and become specialized until they got older.
Right. I mean, like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan loved baseball. Like, he grew up playing basketball and baseball. Like, all these guys, back then, some of these guys less to do too.
I just had that word for word conversation with a buddy from work who coaches his kid's baseball team. And he said exactly, like, I let him play soccer. I don't give a rip about soccer. If he comes up and asks me to play football, I'm gonna let him. He's a kid, man.
Yeah. And you brought up another point about how much money it costs. I don't know how parents do it. I really don't.
I have no idea.
If you're middle class, I have no idea how they do it. The money is crazy. And then here's the other thing. They get. I don't know where this comes from. If it's just the mentality of the parents or they're told this, I don't know. But a lot of people feel like, well, we spent all this money on the front end. They should be getting a full ride now. Well, there are only a few sports in college that give full rides: basketball, football, baseball, even Division I. They don't give full rides, so I don't know where they.
No, that's the biggest misconception about baseball. It's amazing how many kids turn down pro ball to go to college to play ball.
Yeah, and they're like, you can take a softball player, a female softball player, and they're like, well, we want a full ride. Well, nobody gets full rides, And I know you've spent all this money on the front end and stuff, and you think it's going to pay back now. You'd be better off saving it for college tuition. And then if they get a scholarship, hey, now you got a nest egg. You can give it to them, and when they graduate or whatever it may be. But that's a misconception that's out there that needs to change.
Yeah, and I know that's what I got kids that are 3 and 5. Like, I don't care what you do, just play. Like, just go play, have fun. Like, I think luckily I've been around college sports. Like, I'm going to know before my kids are like teenagers, like if there's something there, like I'm not going to be one of them guys that's like, oh, you should put my kid in to play. I'm going to be like, my kid's a role player, my kid donates 5,000, takes the charges, but I can also be like, well, I'll work with him. Like, he's got the size and he's got the athleticism. Like maybe, but yeah, I think my problem with parents in today's day and age is like everybody thinks their kid's the next Michael Jordan, man. Like, and it's just like the most maddening because they're sitting there like when they get home from the coach coaching them up. Your coach is an idiot. Your coach should be at second base, not shortstop. And it just like takes apart everything that you have ever done, on that whole day of practice. Like whatever you got in that kid's head is like out of it. And I'm not saying all parents are like that. That's just my gripe with some like here.
Yeah, the radical ones.
Yeah, like, man, it's like stop living vicariously through your kids. You sucked. You were on the JV team averaging 2 points. Like, accept the fate. Your kid's got half your genetics, which aren't good, so stop it. Just stop it.
Well, it also goes back to what I talked about earlier about relationships. And if you're a kid and at the dinner table, you do eat dinner, like what you're talking about. At the dinner table, you're hearing this every day, every car ride home, and that kind of stuff. Hard to have a relationship with your coach, because all you hear is negative all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Like all the time. Now, like, well, maybe your coach was right for yelling at you. Maybe you should have tried a little harder at practice. You know how your coach doesn't yell at you? You listen to him. Do what he says. It's
Yeah,
this crazy concept, but it might work.
Those are the
Damon.
kind of conversations I had right there.
Yeah, Damon. I know you got to go help Vince get on here in a few minutes. Last question. I know we got a couple more clips here to go over with Coach. On
Yeah,
Black
kind of still bouncing off the same thing as like kid development. Don't you do a lot of programs to develop like for the youth with the basketball programs?
Yeah, I'm big on camps. I'm big on growing the game. I think it's important. I run a camp and it's old school. It's Sunday to Friday. I keep the cost down. I charge less than what some of these camps that are charging, some crazy price for just 2.5 days,
right.
or 5 days. And I believe in it. I believe kids gain confidence. I believe kids, they learn how to interact with people that they don't know. They learn people and they build relationships that can last, forever. There's people that I have relationships with that have lasted a lifetime just from camp.
Right.
My first assistant coaching job was with the guy that coached me at camp when I was 9 years old. That guy hired me for my first job.
Nice.
It's just, I think it's important. I think it's something that's missing in our game now. It's missing not just in basketball, sports in general.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's spending this money playing on all these travel teams when, you know what, you'd probably gain more and your kid would probably grow more if they went to a camp for a week. We're big on that. Like I said earlier, we had the shootouts and just from middle school and high school, we had, 76 teams come through in 4 days. And if you had the college shootout, we had 81 teams in 5 shootouts. And I think it's important. I think we lose that as a coaching too, because that's where a lot of young coaches cut their teeth are at camp, and they network and they develop themselves and they build relationships at those camps. People don't have them anymore. Everybody just has day camps, and it's different. It is really different. And I'm not knocking travel ball and all that kind of stuff, but it's just changed everything. The landscape of sports.
How much harder does that make it for coaches to cut their teeth and move up the ranks without these camps now? Since we're on the subject,
it's very tough. And then you got a lot of people when they graduate and get their degree and they go into teaching and coaching or whatever. They want the head coaching job. They don't want to coach middle school. They want the head coaching job at the high school, and they want to make $75,000 to $90,000 or whatever. And it just doesn't happen that way.
Right.
It's just like players. We deal with it as players. A lot of players right now don't want to wait for their playing time, and they definitely don't want to work while they wait. They want to play immediately, and they want to, to get minutes and that kind of thing. Same thing with coaches. They don't want to work while they wait for that job. And I think camps play a big role in that. It's a who's who of basketball with people that I've met at camps, and I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for camps during the summer.
There you go.
That's an awesome point of view.
Absolutely.
Damon, we do have a couple more blocker charges here for you, Coach. Before Damon's got to get out of here. I know.
Yeah,
we got way too serious.
Yeah, but this is the hidden ball trick I was talking about a while ago.
Oh,
Okay.
So right there.
Whoa! Yeah, forgot it, dude.
I mean,
they do zoom in on this, right? Then, like slow.
Because he already has it. Like,
Coach, come on, where am I missing this?
Dude, that's so crazy, dude.
He's throwing it. He throws it early. He throws it like when not quite there, but right there. He's throwing it, and the ball's bouncing in front of Klay Thompson right now.
Oh,
gotcha.
Bouncing, yeah. Yep, I see it. Okay, all right.
Coach the Dream Crusher can't live in conspiracy world around Coach. Nope.
That's right. Not Coach French. Not today. No. Not in his house.
No. All right.
All
What's
right,
the
so-
other one you got down here, Damon?
Coach, you've been coaching for a while. If you ever get the opportunity, you might want to coach this basketball.
Whoa.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Oh, that was great.
I mean,
Dude, there's some bricks getting launched in this
Yeah.
game.
Where is this happening? And how have I not known about this yet?
He got
Damn.
smashed.
They undercut his ass bad right there.
This is straight.
Rob.
I like how it gives him like the double
Bro,
tap on his neck. Like,
there's
you're all
actual
right.
risk of injury right there. That wasn't like played out like
Hang on, put that. Oh,
WWE.
Oh, and I got
Slammed
hold on.
that dude.
I can come back to it.
Can we talk about how the guy body suplexes a guy? Watch this.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm talking about.
This guy's like the real MVP, not this guy. This guy's lame.
Yeah, we're not sure what
All right.
happened
All
there.
right, watch this guy right here.
Give me that
Suplex in the blue guy.
Boom.
Suplex. Now he's going
Drops
to get up, and he's
And
going to
he caught the rebound. Yeah.
at the highest point, Coach.
And he got the ball.
And watch it. And then I think, I don't know, but
that was
look,
it. That was
he
it.
probably passed the ball. He probably passed the ball to the shooter. He ain't no shooter. Look at him. He ain't no shooter.
Yeah, I mean, he caught board. He caught the board.
Bam, that was
Hey, all I gotta
clean.
ask, Coach, is you're re-signing that guy, right?
Oh yeah, we had a clip like this. We passed around as coaches in our league. We're like, "Hey, this is post play in the River States Conference." We were comparing our post play to this, and we were talking about freedom of movement, lack of freedom of movement.
Yeah, that little guy had zero movement.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
going
man.
where Mr. Blue wanted him to.
That's awesome. No,
I did
David,
wanna-
didn't you find a classic? Didn't you find an old school one?
No.
No, you didn't find that one.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I can if you give me just a second.
No. We don't got time for that.
Yeah,
No,
good
no.
deal.
Well, Damon, hey, last question here for Coach, because I know you gotta hop off after this to help out with the next one.
No question. Like keep going, keep grinding what you're doing. I mean, it seems like you're heading in the right direction since you took over the program.
We feel like we are, and we feel like we've got the right guys in the program now, and I think we're really, really going to enjoy this group, and we've got a lot of guys that are easy to coach, and just guys that you like to be in the gym with. That's important. Just guys you want to be around with every day and pour into them and serve them. And I think that's we're on the right track. I love my guys, and we're doing a lot of good things.
Good deal.
Hell yeah.
Yep. All right. Well,
All
I
right.
appreciate you coming, and I'll see y'all guys in a little while.
Damon, thank you, man. Damon's going to
Damon.
set up a new studio. Remember, the next episode will be a separate show, so stay tuned here on the Dude Network for that one here. But thank you, Damon. Thank you as
Coach,
always.
again, appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Dan.
Yes, sir.
Johnsy, final question here for Coach.
I got one, but I did want to show these and make sure. I know we showed him, but I want to make sure he saw them. They call me J Money, says Coach. And then Devin Fielden, that's my coach right there.
Yeah,
So some of the team showed out for you.
that's good.
That's too cool.
I love
They're
my
trying to
guys.
get out of suicides. Let's be honest. They don't want to
Right?
run.
Yeah. They're hoping like, hey, where were you guys on the podcast, huh?
Yeah. Old Devin's up there eating donuts while everyone's doing wind sprints court to court. I love it. I'm sure there's some good pastry shops in Oakland City. I just have a feeling. Yeah. That's good stuff.
Did you play basketball growing up too?
Yes.
Or did you play? Okay. What
I
was
played football, basketball, baseball.
okay?
Yeah.
So being a coach now, what was the biggest impact some of your coaches had on you back then? And did they contribute to you wanting to be a coach?
Absolutely, 100%. And this goes into what we were talking about earlier. and this goes deeper into that. You know, and again, not a knock on how things are structured now, but there are a lot of coaches, and you guys will, when you think about it, you're going to agree with this because of the eras that we all went to school. Used to, if you think about it, the coaches were some of the best teachers that you had. They taught history. They taught, you know, biology. They taught, but those coaches were great teachers. And now you have a lot of people who coach. They're not teachers. They work outside the building. They work outside the school system, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying, but it's changed. But a lot of the people who impacted us as coaches, they were teachers, and they're around their players every day. So it goes back to what I've been talking about the whole time: relationships. That kid sees you all the time, and he knows about you and he cares about you. But you know, there's a lot. I'm close to you know, Coach Jody Burgess. He was my high school coach, and we still talk. We talk 2 or 3 times a month. You know, to this day, and you know, I consider him family, and I think he considers me family. And you know, I even worked for him years later when I was an assistant coach in high school, and I just, you know, it's different. I think that it all comes down to what you want to get out of it and those relationships. And if those coaches, they pour back into you, you do gain something from them. You know, there's a lot of things that you pick up. You know, a lot of coaches have tendencies of people that they played for, you know, and that kind of thing. And I think I learned a lot of how to do things positive. And I think there was some coaches that I had to, for me, I knew I was going into coaching, and I thought about, you know, I don't think I'm going to do it that way. I don't think.
Yeah. Everybody's had that coach or that moment with a coach. Yeah.
You learn what not to do. And it's all about developing your moral compass and what guides you and how you want to coach. And there's a lot of different ways to be successful and do it. I'm not, you know, you know, and what does winning mean? Is it wins and losses? Is it your record? Because, you know, when you win a game or you lose a game, you know, that is it's temporary how you feel. You know, a couple hours later, it doesn't matter whether you won or lost. You know, a lot of people don't care, especially in society today, because, you know, everybody moves on a lot quicker than they used to. But what is winning? What is winning really in your eyes as a coach? For me, it's developing young men. You know, if I have men themselves to Christ and that kind of stuff, and while they're in my program, that's a win. That's a huge win. If I have a former player 20 years later who, you know, reaches out to me when his kid graduates or he has another kid or whatever it may be, that's a win. That's a paycheck. And having successful fathers and husbands and that kind of thing, those are wins. And those speak are much more important than whether you won a game or lost a game.
Hell yeah, Coach. And that's why people need to send their kids to you and let you turn them into men.
Yeah.
That's right. By the way,
your kid won't be a man unless he's coached by Coach French.
Yeah. He won't be American until he's Frenched up. Bang.
Woo! There it is.
There we go.
That's the ticket right there.
That's it. Hey, we're putting that on your new T-shirt line. Congratulations, Coach. You heard it here first. Coach, thank you so much, man. An absolute blast. As always, man. Always grateful for any time you give us, especially during, you know, there's not many down seasons. So I know you're always like really busy with everything going on. So thank you for taking an hour out of your schedule to hang out here with us. We're happy for you, man. We're wishing you the best of luck this upcoming season. And let us know if we can ever do anything for you, man. Maybe we can do some kind of collab coverage at the show this year, you know? Maybe. Just maybe.
We're going to have 30 teams. It's going to be the biggest. It's the biggest the event's ever been. Last year we had 28. This year we're going to have 30. We've got Arizona Christian top 5 program, NAI, and it's a really good field. We've got 20 men's teams, or 22 men's teams and 10 women's teams coming to the event.
31, because Team Dude Network is going to be in the house somehow, some way. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But dudes and dudettes, remember, here at the top of the hour, again, come back on here with author Vince Guerrieri. We're really excited to have him on, and the couple books he's written here about Cleveland sports, and he's just an absolute brilliant of a man, just like our head coach over here beside us, our fellow dude, Coach Ken French. Thank you, Coach, so much, man.
Yeah, seriously, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll see everybody in just a couple minutes.